Hi everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So this is going to be a very special one. This one is where I try to take down all of my NetGalley TBR. So I have 5 books on there, and so this vlog is just going to last however long it takes for me to get through those 5, and that's what we're going to do. So I am very new to NetGalley. I just joined recently and I was warned not to get too click happy because it's very easy for things to pile up on you, and I can totally see how that's happened. I've only reviewed maybe 1 or 2, and I have these 5, and it's just I can see myself putting them off because I want to read them close to the publication date, but my percentage is so low I figured let's just go ahead and knock them out. So I started this idea on a couple days ago, and I had 3 books, and so then I go on NetGalley to make sure they're all sent to my Kindle, so I'm ready to go, and I started doing clickety click, and now I have already been approved for 2 more, so I have 5. So I'm thinking I can do like a book a day, and this will maybe be 5 or 6 days, but I don't know. So the first one I picked up was Her Perfect Life by Rebecc Taylor, and this one is a thriller about a woman who, her name is Claire, and she is an author, and she comes up dead. And her sister, Eileen, has always had kind of jealousy issues, and so they're not super close. Claire, the author, is like this huge, she's like on the Forbes list of one of the most wealthy people in the world. She is a very, very, very successful author. And so she seems to have this perfect life. And her most recent book was called A Perfect Life. So now she's dead. Her sister's trying to figure out what is going on because she died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So big trigger for suicide, I'm sure. But she goes to try to figure out like what made this woman who's had this perfect life, what were her demons, why did she do this, what happened. And so it's told from Eileen, the sister's perspective, Claire's perspective from 2 years ago, and then her husband Simon from 2 years ago, Claire's husband Simon. So it's really interesting. We're getting to know Claire. We're getting to know a little bit more about her past and what goes on in her head. She's very reclusive, very, like she socializes and goes to events and that kind of stuff, but she's just very introverted, which I think a lot of authors probably are. And so we don't know a lot about her from the outside. So I love that we get to see her perspective from the inside. So I'm about 20% of the way through that, and so far so good. Today we have just been doing, today's Saturday, April 25th. I don't know if I said that. And Saturday and Sunday are really my days to like get stuff done, especially filming and YouTube stuff, because my husband is free all day, obviously, to help with my daughter. So I have been doing a lot of like organizing for videos, and you can't see around me right now, but I've got my stacks of my April haul, and so I'm going to try to film that. And then at 11 o'clock, I have my Zoom baby shower. So that is really exciting. I'm not sure how that's going to work out because I think there's like 40 or 50 people at least trying to join in. And so I've never done a Zoom meeting that big, so I don't know. But my daughter and I are going to go downstairs and do that this morning. And then this afternoon, I think I'm just going to try to keep filming, editing, doing all that kind of stuff, and just get a lot of stuff done today. We've also been doing laundry and hanging the last of the pictures and really just settling in. So I don't know how much reading will get done today. Hopefully a fair amount, but I will get on an update when I have more thoughts on Her Perfect Life. Hey everyone, it is Sunday, April 26th, and it's almost 1 o'clock, and I'm just now updating because we have had a crazy morning. So I woke up full of like piss and vinegar to get stuff done, and so I just have been running around, and then did a workout, and then showered, and then we just did church, and then I finished getting ready, and now here I am. So I have to update you on Her Perfect Life by Rebecc Taylor. That one I ended up giving a strong 3.5 stars. So I told you mostly what it's about, but so Eileen, her sister, goes to San Francisco where Claire, the writer, is from, and is just working with Simon to try to figure out what was going on with Claire that caused her to commit the suicide. So we get Claire's history from her perspective, and then we also see present day. She wrote this book called A Perfect Life, and it is much different than anything else she has written. It's a lot darker, more depressing, and so they think maybe a clue to what was going on with her personally is within her book. And her dedication was something that caught everybody off guard. So they're trying to figure out through this book what made Claire commit suicide. And so we get to hear a lot. We hear Claire's like short stories that she's written, journal entries that she's written, but we don't really get a whole lot from the actual novel. And other people I saw complained about that, but I really think it worked out okay because we know enough to piece together what is said in the novel, and then we know kind of the big culminating event. So I am being very vague on purpose, but I thought this book was really good. The only things that disappointed me were, one, it's marketed as a thriller. It's not. It's a women's fiction with this mystery in the background because we're really just studying Claire, and also Eileen has her own things going on. So it's a women's fiction about their relationship with each other and then their own issues and things that are going on within their heads. And the author, this is a debut novel, but I think she is a psychiatrist or psychologist or something. I don't know, but she like was able to make the mind, like the way the minds work seem very real and very understandable and not necessarily relatable because I don't personally struggle with the issues that these people do, but just very readable and realistic feeling. And also, Claire suffers from migraines, and there's one scene in this book where she gets a migraine and she's out somewhere and has to drive home, and like the whole scene was so, I'm a migraine sufferer, and it was so accurate that this author must be a migraine sufferer because just the way she was able to write some of those kind of things, I am really excited to see what else she writes because she did a very good job writing. The complaints I have about this book are there's two relationships that don't make sense in this book. Both are between Claire and friends. And so Claire's got a friend named Donna who she met in like college, and Donna was actually the one that kind of got her into writing for publishing purposes. And Donna and she have a very up and down relationship, and it sort of makes sense, but not really. And like Donna supposedly writes a critical review of the book that A Perfect Life, but then also is blurbed on the front promoting it. And there were just a lot of things that were very, very underdeveloped and did not make sense. And we spent enough time in Claire's history, and it started from 20 years before she died all the way up to like 2 years before she died. And so I feel like we spent enough time there, that relationship could have been developed more. There's also a friendship that she had in high school that I don't really want to talk about who it's with, but they were like sisters in high school, and now it's like the girl doesn't really like Claire, and it sort of makes sense why, but it just needed a little more depth and explanation. So the marketing issue and then those two relationships being so underdeveloped really kind of knocked it down for me. But I would definitely say this one comes out June 2nd. Check it out. Or if you're on NetGalley, and I think this one may be an auto-approve now. So if you're on NetGalley, check it out. Otherwise, June 2nd, check it out. So then I picked up Take a Look at Me Now. And I can't remember who the author is, but I'll have a picture up. This one is... Well, it's got 3.28 as a rating on Goodreads currently. It's still, I think it just came out maybe April 16th. And so it's been out for 10 days now. And it's just not great. It's about a woman who... I thought it was going to be a second chance romance because it's talking about how she is kind of an empty nester. She's married to this guy, but she goes back to her high school or college. I think it's university because it's in the UK somewhere. And she goes back to her reunion, sees her first love. And so I thought it was going to be like a second chance romance about that. But what actually is going on is her son has moved to Bali to start working in this surf shop or whatever. And so he has an accident, so she goes to Bali. And it's her story of her time in Bali. So she's juggling, in her head, she's juggling her husband this guy from university, and then also the owner of the surf shop in Bali. And the only one we really know is the guy in Bali. Like, we don't know, there's no emotional connection to the other two at all. Like, they've barely been a part of the story. And there's also a weird storyline going on with Olive, who is like her aunt, and she has Alzheimer's, and she's in some sort of nursing home. And so that storyline is going on too. We're getting perspectives from Olive. And so it's really, I just don't know what to think of it. I'm about 30% of the way through, so we'll see. Hopefully it gets a little bit better, but I don't have high hopes based on the Goodreads rating. So now I am going to post our gender reveal for this little baby. So we did a Zoom meeting baby shower yesterday, and it was so fun. There was there were 20, 25 people, I don't know, in and out, and a lot of people were forgot, because it's like with these days being like Groundhog Days, it's really hard to know, like, okay, today's Saturday, this is the time, here's where I need to go. So a lot of people came in late, and people, it was a lot of in and out, and then friends all have little kids too, so a lot had to go deal with little kid stuff. So it was very in and out, but it was awesome. It was so great because I'm in Kansas, so we had people from all over Kansas. We had people from Texas, California, Tennessee, like just all of our friends and family. It was almost more fun to do it that way because I was in my basement in a t-shirt, and we got everybody there, and it was so fun. And so I surprised everybody and did a gender reveal. They didn't know we knew, because we did not find out with our daughter what the gender was, and now I'm 34 weeks, and so my husband and I have known since Christmas. And so, yeah, I surprised everybody, and so then I put a little teaser on social media, and I'm going to announce that today on social media just to make it known to non-family members. And yeah, so I'm really excited to do that. And then this afternoon, I have so much filming and editing I still want to do, so I may do that, but I also was up for like 4 hours last night, hence how I got all this reading done. And so I'm really tired, but I almost always have a cup of half-calf coffee in the morning, and not always, but with my daughter, I didn't do any caffeine. And so then when she was a few months old and I was like desperate for caffeine, I drank a cup, and she didn't sleep for like 2 days because I was nursing. And the doctor said because she was not exposed to any in utero, she's probably just hypersensitive to it. So this time I've been conscious about drinking a half-calf cup most days, like five out of 7 days a week. Well, this morning I was so tired, I had 2 half-calf coffees. And so that's why I've been like, because I never really have caffeine. And so with a little caffeine, I've gotten so much done, and it's like, who needs drugs when you have caffeine? And so I am going to maybe take a nap, maybe read, maybe film. I don't know, but I will get on later and update. We'll talk to you then. Bye. Hey, it is like 3:30 on Sunday, and I just finished like editing videos, planning out some videos, and just working on stuff. So now I have the choice of either laying down and reading, and I was thinking I might turn on We Be Bookin'. She's been doing read with us or whatever videos where her and a bunch of booktubers get together and they chat for like 30 minutes and then they just read for an hour. So I might turn that on and read, or I might be productive. I need to write thank you cards for the baby shower stuff. And so I might do that and like put my little earphone in and listen to my book on Kindle, like the Kindle read to you, but that is so robotic and like kind of hard to focus on. And I really do just want to lay down, but there's so much to do, and it's so much easier without a little helper. Decisions. So I don't know what I'll do, and I really haven't made any progress in my book, so I don't have anything to update. I just was getting on here to say that we've got productivity on this side and laying down on this side. What do? I don't know. I was more productive than I thought I would be today, so I feel like I kind of deserve to lay down. I made some s'mores bars and like filmed and did so much, so I feel like I deserve it, right? Right. Hey everyone, it is Monday at about 11 o'clock, and I just thought I'd get on an update because I didn't at all yesterday. So, we watched The Masked Singer while we had our Sabbath snacks. If you haven't seen my last vlog or whatever, I decided that that was going to be something we were going to do on Sundays to help just break up the monotony and stuff of cooking. So, we just have snacks on Sunday and watch shows, and it was really fun. I can't think. Yesterday, I think nesting has fully set in. And so I'm just like trying to be a like little Energizer bunny trying to get stuff done. And so yesterday, I spent a lot of time just doing that. And as you can see, let me go this way. That is my closet in here where I have a secret stash of like toys and things that I can pull out in desperate times. And so I found some from our storage room. So I've got now a new pile to take care of. But yeah, so that's what I did yesterday. And then my like need for nesting is great. I never really felt it with my daughter that much, but we also like kind of had everything done. So it just wasn't as strong as it is this time. It's great, but I woke up at 3:45 this morning thinking of things to do, and I just could not go back to sleep. So I got up and started doing them, which means I'm so tired. So, but that also means while I was trying to like put myself back to sleep, I started reading, and so I finished Take a Look at Me Now by Kendra Smith. And unfortunately, I'm going to give this one 2 stars. It came out April 16th, so it is available to check out if you want to. But it's about a woman named Maddie, and like I said in the last one, she has a troubled marriage, an empty nest, and her son is in Bali, I think, working at this surf shop. He gets in an accident, so she goes over there. And that part is like not even mentioned in the blurb or like in the synopsis. And that's a huge part, like that's the whole beginning of the book. She goes to like a reunion and sees the one who got away, kind of, but then that's just put on hold while she's in Bali for all this time. And the part of her in Bali had nothing to do with the storyline. So I don't really know why it was in there. And like really, this is not a romance in my opinion. This is a woman finding herself story, which is fine. And it just was not well done because it was trying to be a romance. And so she's got her husband, this one who got away, and then also the guy that she met in Bali. And I felt zero emotion about any of them. Like, I couldn't care less who she ended up with. Couldn't care at all. And the only thing I liked about this book, honestly, was she had a really strong relationship with a woman named Olive. And Olive is in a nursing home for Alzheimer's. And she is actually her husband's aunt, but she and Maddie are very, very close. And so their relationship was the best part of this book, and the only one that I felt even sort of emotionally connected to. But even that was like, meh. I just felt like this book was not well written, in my opinion, and it was very flat and just very, like, I was happy to see it end. So, yeah, 2 stars for that one. Thank you to Galley and the publisher for letting me read it. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. So that's 2 of my Galley arcs down. Now I'm on to the 3rd, which is called Someday in Paris, I think. And this one, somehow I think I must have missed it, or else I just requested it without caring. It's pretty much just historical fiction. And started off kind of slow, but I'm liking it so far. It's about, it's told in present day, this grandma is talking to her granddaughter. And this family has some sort of, I don't know if it's like a magical realism thing, but they have these dreams. And these dreams are very indicative of things. And I'm not going to tell you what the dreams are about, or what it is indicative of, but they have these dreams. And so then it flashes back to the 50s when the grandma is young, and she meets a boy in a library, and they both have this rare book. And so they strike up a bond, but they live way in different parts of Europe. And so then it's them trying to come back together kind of in their story. And yeah, so far it's good. I don't know about the magical realism touch. Like, I don't know what I think about that. And we'll just kind of have to see where it goes. I'm only about 20% of the way in, so I don't know a whole lot, and it's still just kind of unfolding. But that's what I'm reading now. So this morning, we've just been doing stuff around the house. like I said, I'm exhausted and just struggling. And so we're going to go to grocery pickup, maybe run, drop some stuff off at Goodwill, but I don't know if they're even taking anything, so maybe we won't do that. Do grocery pickup and then come back and eat lunch. And then, oh, this afternoon, I'm going to be doing some filming that's super exciting. So then hopefully nap and whatever. So I will get on later and let you know what I think if I finish this book. Talk then. Bye. Hey everyone, it is Tuesday about 10:30 and I just thought I'd get on an update quick because this morning I finished Someday in Paris by Olivia Lara and I am shocked by how much I like this book. I gave it 4 stars. I think it, like I had said earlier yesterday when I had just started it, I don't know if I was going to like it because it was historical and that's not my thing. I don't know why I requested it or what made me do it, but I'm so glad I did because I was very pleasantly surprised. So it's about a couple who they meet when they're teenagers, I think. They're young and they bond over a book, but then he doesn't live there. So they go separate ways. Things happen to both of them. They both end up changing their names. And then at different points in life, their paths keep like weaving and intersecting, but they don't recognize each other and it's not quite the right time. And so it's just kind of a book of like missed opportunities. And it was just so like, I really felt their love story. That being said, it's only a 4-star for me because it was very convenient. There were a lot of times that were like, really, I don't know, you know, like that's pretty convenient. And then there's like 5 main characters, kind of 2 couples, and then this other guy. And the 5 of them are so interconnected in so many ways that it's like this person's connected to this person, but also this person, you know, I mean, it's all just so like weaved and connected that it was like, are there no other people in these towns? And they live in like Paris and stuff. So I just found that a little bit hard to believe that it was also interconnected that way, but I really enjoyed it. 4 stars. It comes out May 14th, and as far as I know, that date has not changed. And so I would definitely suggest picking that up. And again, thank you to NetGalley, and I believe it was Aria Publishing that gave me this arc. And so I just was really excited to read it. Probably, I don't know why I picked it up, and it's probably not something I would have physically picked up. So I'm very glad I read it. So next, I have 2 left. That means 3 books down, 2 to go, and until my NetGalley is clear and up to date. So I have Lie and Lie Again, and then let me see. I'm trying to see what my other book is, and of course I can't see. The Waffle House on the Pier by Tilly Tennant. So one is a romance kind of rom-com, the Tilly Tennant one, and I don't think I've ever read her, and I am really excited to read her because I've heard a lot of good things. And then the other, Lie and Lie Again, I think is like a women's fiction slash thriller, like a women's fiction where they find a dead body or something. I don't know. So I'm going to pick up one of those later. We are going to try to get outside. It's like 10:30 and it's 70 degrees and it's cloudy, and I think it's going to start raining this afternoon. So we are going to try to get a couple hours outside and then come in and spend the rest of the day inside. So that's the plan, and we will talk to you later. Bye. Hey everybody, so it's about 2:30 and I just got my daughter down for a nap, and I decided to pick up Waffle House on the Pier by Tilly Tennant. This is my first Tilly Tennant book, and I'm really excited because I've heard a lot of good things about her and how cute and kind of clean her romances are, and that feels like it sounds good. So I am going to go lay down and read that, hopefully stay awake. I would really like to finish it today, but I don't know if that's possible. So I'm going to try my darndest. This morning we went and played outside, like I said, and then we went and ran some errands. We took some books to a little free library and picked up lunch for myself, my family, and my dad, and so then we took that over there and had a little car visit. And yeah, then I just filmed the video, and now we are doing nap time and all that. So my daughter's favorite book right now, she got the pull tab version of Brown Bear, What Do You See? And she loves it. Like, we have the plain book and she doesn't really care, but the pull tab one is awesome. So any parents out there, she's loving that. And then she also loves the whole series of, like, If You Give a Pig a Party, If You Give a Mouse a Pancake, or whatever, the whole series. She loves them. So we have been reading those constantly, and they're good, but enough times is enough time. So now I'm going to go read Mama books for hopefully at least an hour, and we'll check in later. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday and it's just about noon, and we are just going, we went and took Ainsley's little baby and her stroller over to my parents' property, and so we could take her on a different adventure besides our neighborhood. So we walked around there and played with the dog and chased some birds and some bunnies and all of that. So that's what we've been doing. It is super windy today. It says gusts like upwards of 30 miles an hour, and but it's like 60 degrees. So we're trying to get out there as much as possible. It looks beautiful minus the wind. So that's what we've been doing. I finished The Waffle House on the Pier by Tilly Tennant, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. It was my first Tilly Tennant. It comes out June 25th, and so it will come out soon, another month or two. And like I said, I gave it 4 stars. I was a big fan. I have never read Tilly Tennant, and I think I'm going to try to seek her out. And her covers are so cute. And this one, I can't remember what I said about it yesterday, but it's basically about a girl who, her family, like her brother and her parents and her grandparents, all work on, like, in the tourist kind of industry on this sea salt bay. That's where she's from. It's where she's grown up. She has decided to move away and become a teacher, and she's kind of torn if that's the right decision for her or not. And so then her grandfather dies, leaving her grandmother to run the Waffle House all by herself. And the grandma has her own issues going on, and so she really needs help. She can't do it alone. And so the family pulls together and they're like, do we sell it, or do we is somebody willing to help? And so the brother and his wife have like their own very busy business. The parents are the same, and she has a sister, but the sister lives in New York and is like deep into her career, can't leave, doesn't want to. So the consensus is basically it falls on Sadie or it gets sold. And Sadie also has the most like emotional connection to the Waffle House, so she decides to help her grandma get it up and running again. And then so it's her story of moving back home. Her one who got away kind of is named Declan, and he is still in Sea Salt Bay, but he's dating somebody else. And so there's kind of that. And then she has a chance encounter, we'll say, with a new guy named Luke. And so there's a little bit of a love triangle. It was just so cute. I thought it was very, very enjoyable, very quick, and just very cute and charming. It had an idyllic setting that I love. It had like a foodie background, which I love. And it had a lovable main character, which I love. And so that is 4 stars because it didn't have that thing, you know, that makes it like a 5-star. Like, it was nothing that I'm going to remember for years and years as being like this really great book. And it didn't have anything that really set it apart, but it was really good. I hope that makes sense. The other thing that kind of annoyed me is she goes back and forth between like calling her grandmother Gammy and then also calling her April, which is her name. And the same with her mom. She calls her Henny, which is her name, or Mom. And like, it just made the beginning kind of confusing because everybody, like, there was no consistency in when or why she was calling somebody one name or the other. And so that was kind of annoying. But other than that, I really liked the book, really liked the main character. I thought it was really cute. If you're a fan of Tilly Tennant, definitely look it up. If you're on NetGalley, I would say check it out. Otherwise, it comes out June 25th. So I'm picking up my last book in this project, which is Lie and Lie Again. I'm not sure who it's by, and I think it's not out until November. I need to double check, but it's about, I think, like 3 different women who all live in a certain apartment complex, and somebody's found dead at the bottom of the stairs. And so it's told, like, the book starts with a very brief after section, and then it goes back to before, and we're following these 3 women who I can't quite get a picture, but I think what it is like an apartment complex. And so we're getting all these 3 women's stories, and I think it's going to be more of a women's fiction than a thriller, but I think it's kind of tagged as both. So we'll see. My expectation is not for anything super thrilling. Also, with this NetGalley project, I have kind of realized the trouble with NetGalley, because I was looking on my requests, and I have requests from months ago. So I started this project thinking I was going to read 3 books. Then 2 more came in. And then since I've started this week, 2 more have come in. So I'm going to finish this project with this Lie and Lie Again. And because the other 2 that came in just came in like yesterday, I finally got approved. And I have a buddy read that starts tomorrow. And then this weekend is the Light versus Dark readathon. So I'm just not going to have time to read 2 more NetGalley books right now. Both of them have a little time till they come out. I'll probably make them more of a priority after the readathon. But for this vlog's purposes, I'm going to stop at the 5 that I had on Monday or whenever I started this, and we'll just go from there. So that is what we're doing. Now we're going to go home and eat some lunch and maybe play outside a little bit more. Maybe try to film a video or 2 and then take naps. And yeah, happy hump day. So we'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey everyone, it's about Thursday at 9:45, and I finished Lie and Lie Again by STACY. This is, of course, another NetGalley arc, and this one doesn't come out until November. And right now it's sitting like somewhere at around a 3.5, a high 3.5 on Goodreads from the reviews that have come in so far. And I'm just kind of surprised because I really did not care for it. On reflection, I finished it last night because, again, I'm not sleeping, so finished it in the middle of the night, and I was like, ugh, so glad I'm done with this. But then now that I'm reflecting on the whole story, I'm giving it a 3 stars because I that's kind of generous, but 3 stars is what I'm going with. It is about a dead body. There's a dead body at the bottom of the stairs in this apartment complex. And so then the book follows 3 women who live in the apartment complex and their stories. And like I had said in my last clip, I thought it was going to be more women's fiction than thriller because I think NetGalley has it marketed like as women fiction and then thriller, but on Goodreads it's just thriller. And this is definitely not a thriller. It is a women's fiction, a dark women's fiction, because the murder is mentioned, or the death, I guess it's not even, it's just a death. It's mentioned in the first chapter and the last chapter, and not at all in between. There's nothing. And so basically the first chapter is after, and then the rest of the book is the before that leads up to then the culminating event, which is the first and last chapter, if that makes any sense. So these 3 women all live in the apartment complex. They're all kind of friends, all have varying degrees, all have secrets and varying degrees of like darkness. And so there's one that's really light, one that's kind of medium dark, and then one that's super twisty and manipulative and dark. And so it just follows their 3 stories, their secrets. I don't want to really tell you anything about them because not a whole lot is revealed in the blurb, and I think that's good. So like I said, this one doesn't come out until November. I wouldn't put it on your most anticipated list, but maybe. And if you are on NetGalley, it may be an auto read. I don't know. I feel like I don't get approved for that much. So if I can get it, you could probably get it if you want to get on NetGalley and get it. But this was not one of my favorites. So now I'm going to keep this vlog going one more day, just today. Today's Thursday, because it's kind of an awkward day. I'm reading Waiting for Tom Hanks by KERRY WINFREY with Sarah from Steeped in Books. I just love her to pieces. And so we're reading this book. It's a rom-com about a girl who is waiting for her Tom Hanks. And so she says in the beginning, like, I'm not waiting for literal Tom Hanks because she's in her 20s. And she says, you know, Tom Hanks is a little old for me, and him and Rita are like the couple, which I agree. Like, if I could meet anybody in real life, it would be them as a couple, because it's like, how do you manage all that you like everything you have going on and yet still keep a presumably good marriage? Like, they seem to be loving with each other. And I'm not going to get on my Tom Hanks soapbox because I'm obsessed. And if you guys don't know, my dog's name is Hanks because I am literally obsessed with Tom Hanks. But so this book is the rom-com about her waiting for her meet cute, her Mr. Right, her Tom Hanks. And it hasn't happened yet. And so she's just still waiting and going on. And it's cute. It's super predictable, I think. I'm only like 9 or 10 chapters in, which is maybe a third of the way. And it's, like I said, very predictable, but very cute. And I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this and mostly negative. And so far, Sarah's really liking it too. And she's at about the same spot I am. So I'm interested to see. Maybe it just is going to be super duper predictable because you know from pretty much page one what's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't know why people aren't liking it yet. So we'll see. It is making me like today, right now it's 60 degrees. And it's like not even 10 o'clock. So it's going to be a beautiful day, like 70 something and sunny. And so I feel like obligated for us to play outside all day, which is good. But what I really want to do is watch Nora Ephron movies because she's talking about like all these Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan movies, you know, like You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, that kind of stuff. But she's really talking about Nora Ephron movies in general. Like she mentions When Harry Met Sally, While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. I don't know if that's a Nora Ephron movie, but like I really just want to hole up on the couch and binge watch movies. And I'm not a huge movie watcher. I think I may have mentioned that multiple times. I like have the attention span of my 2-year-old, and so I can't sit and watch movies just because I don't like to. But if I'm gonna watch something, it's like those kind of movies. And so I really want to watch a bunch of them. Maybe I will later or at bedtime or something. I don't know. But that's what's going on. So if you can see, I got my pearls back and they just got the bases all fixed up and they actually didn't charge at all. We live in a relatively small town. I've talked about that too. And this has been our family jeweler for like ever and a day. So they do so many kind things for us. Including just kind of fixing these up. And I've been wearing them now for almost 24 hours and they're not bothering me at all. So I think it might have just been whatever like tarnish and stuff was on them. And I don't know. But so hopefully that's good. Yesterday we went to the little free libraries and y'all, they were like stocked, like so much that we went to the first one and I had to just go to a different one because I couldn't get any books in there and I had a whole box. And so we went to a different free library, and I really like to see that people are at least like doing that, which I know if the libraries aren't open, we probably shouldn't take books from there because it's probably not the safest, but I just think that's a really nice thing for people to do, and I'm really glad I was able to contribute a box to hopefully give somebody some comfort or some entertainment during this time. I live in Kansas, and as of now, our shelter-in-place order is up on Sunday, and to my knowledge, I have not heard anything saying that's not going to happen, and they have talked about rollout plans for what they're going to do as far as reopening things, and unfortunately, like, beauticians did not make the first round of cuts, and so like I'm feeling like I really just need to do. I've said I'm like in the nesting thing. I feel like I need to like get my hair cut, get a pedicure, like that kind of stuff. Get ready for this baby, so it is ready because this time, like I've talked about blood pressure issues and all that kind of stuff, but like bending over to paint my toes or really even shave my legs is like makes me woozy, and I don't want to be like painting my toes is fine, whatever. I if they're not painted, they're not painted, but like I don't want to have hairy legs and go into birth. Birth is gross enough. I don't know. So, but then I also don't want to like let them grow so much that like you have to let them get long to wax them. So I don't know what I'll do. Karen from Mother Be Reading, she was saying that she does laser treatments, and a downside of living in a relatively small town is like that there's nowhere around here I don't think that does that, but that would be sweet. Anyway, so we are going to, I'm like not feeling good at all. If you can tell, I'm super pale and lightheaded and blood pressure is not doing good this morning. So we are going to, I don't know. I had plans to organize the baby's room a little bit, organize the basement a little bit, and maybe the garage even a little bit, but I don't know if we'll do that. We have a bubble gun that we found. It's from last year, and we just found it, or my daughter found it, yesterday or something, and it doesn't have batteries, which I don't know why it needs batteries, but it does. And so I think I'm going to see if I can get that working, and we'll go outside and play with that for a little bit. And then we have grocery pickup between 11 and 12, and we're going to go snag a banana from my mother because I forgot bananas. So that's really what we're doing this morning. My husband ran into the grocery store like yesterday, and he said they were giving away free loaves of bread, which is really interesting. So he got a big old loaf of French bread, and we don't really have any use for it. So what I'm going to do tonight is switch up the dinner plans, and we're going to do French toast for dinner. And that's so good because he is kind of particular about how he likes his French toast, and so he'll probably make it, which just makes my day. So that's today in a nutshell. I'm going to finish Waiting for Tom Hanks for sure because, guys, I'm like sickly competitive. It's bad, and so I really might like intentionally get up at midnight tonight to start the Light vs. Dark readathon tomorrow. So that I've got to get this wrapped up so I can do that starting midnight tonight. And my typical routine in the morning is that I get on, like I get up at like 5:30 ish, and then eat a little breakfast, go downstairs. We've got an elliptical downstairs, and so I do an hour of that and watch BookTube. And I'm not going to do that during this readathon, guys. I'm going to listen or read books, and so I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm really excited to try. This is not about anything important, so I'm going to stop talking, and I'll update you when I finish Waiting for Tom Hanks. We're just getting home from grocery pickup, and we went and got a banana from my mom, and because we got 2 bananas, I don't know if I said this earlier, but we got 2 bananas in our order, but I need a ripe one because my husband got free bread, so we're doing French toast for dinner and pancakes, and I use the bananas in pancakes. So we needed a ripe banana, and so I traded her a not ripe for a ripe. Well, actually I didn't. I offered to, and she didn't want it. So yeah, so that's what we did. But she did say that our library is planning to open on Monday, which I don't know. I saw their website didn't say anything and their social media doesn't say anything, but she said she saw it on the news. So that's really interesting. And she said that they're going to do, like, they'll even run your stuff out to your car if you want to just put stuff on hold. I don't know how they're going to do it, but if that is the case, that will like open a whole new world to me, because I've been really limited to either what I can get, like what I own, what I have on my Kindle, or what I can get on Kindle for less than $2 or free. And so that will be awesome if they truly reopen on Monday. I hope we're not jumping the gun, but the idea of reopening is like, just stuff to do, especially like outdoor places. Like if the park's open, that would be wonderful, although they're going to be swarmed like everywhere. I think the library is going to be swarmed, the parks or any public places are going to be swarmed. I don't know. The government said that it, like, even if our state reopens on Sunday, it's going to be county by county, and we have a college in our town, and the like 90% of our cases in our county are from college age kids, and they are not listening. Like, there was a Kager last weekend with like 25 plus people on the street, like outside of the apartment complex. And so our county then has said, well, if the state lets up, we're going to extend for at least 2 weeks. And I don't know. I just don't know what the safe or right thing to do is, but clearly some people are going to do what they want to do regardless. And so I don't know. I hope we lighten up and just start slowly reopening. I don't know. I just hope everybody stays safe. This kind of thing is so obviously unprecedented. Who knows what the right thing to do is, but slowly reopening. What matters to me is just having a few more options of things to do with my daughter, and then hopefully when we have this baby, she'll be able to come meet it and stuff at the hospital before we go home, and there will maybe be a little fewer cases at the hospital. I don't know. So that's the plan. I'm almost done with Waiting for Tom Hanks. I've been listening to it as we've been doing stuff this morning. We made a big crock pot of marinara sauce. I make my own and just make like 6 pint jars, mason jars, fill them and then freeze them, and then we can use them anytime. And so my daughter helped me, and 2-year-old help is a unique sort of help. So we did that. I edited a video that's going to go up tomorrow, which you will have already seen. It's my Zoom talk with my grandma. And so that, I edited that, and we did some yoga, and well, she did some yoga because I still have tailbone issues going on. So that's kind of been our morning, and now we're going to go in, eat some lunch, and then my husband is going to take her from 1 to 2 so I can do a May TBR, which is so weird, not something I never ever do. So that will also already be up. So I will link
both my Zoom talk with my grandma, if you haven't seen it, and my May TBR, if you haven't seen it, because those will both go up before this does. So I'm going to film that between 1 and 2, and then I'm hopefully going to zonk out, because I just have been getting like anywhere between 3 and 5 hours of sleep at night. No fault. I mean, nobody's fault but my own. And, so I'm exhausted, and like my blood pressure has been really, really bad today, really, really low, just because I'm so tired, I think. So I am going to try to get everybody fed and cleaned up and ready to go by 1 o'clock. So I've got an hour, which means I got to go. So I'm going to unload groceries, do that. I'll check in once I am finished. Also, if you have read Waiting for Tom Hanks, let me know what you thought, because like I said, most of what I've heard has been negative, and I'm like 2/3 or maybe even 3/4 the way done, and I'm really liking it. The only thing is you have to suspend your disbelief, because the whole premise is this girl gets a job on a movie set, and it's her relationship with the main movie star. And so the chances of that happening, like, pretty slim to none. If you're just an assistant on the set, I don't think you're probably going to meet the main movie star, but you might. I don't know how it works. And it's set in Ohio, so maybe it's a smaller set. I don't know. But so I don't know if that's why people don't like it or what. I just asked Sarah if she knows, because I haven't read a ton of reviews, and I've not seen a ton of reviews. I've just heard a lot of people say it kind of let them down. So yeah, if you've read it, let me know, and we'll check in when I finally finish it. Hey everyone, so it's like 4 o'clock on Thursday, and I just finished Waiting for Tom Hanks by KERRY WINFREY, and I loved it. I can't decide yet if I'm going to give it 4 or 4.5 stars, but I really, really enjoyed it. So if you're going to read this book, go in ready to suspend your disbelief, because she gets a job. First of all, there's this movie coming to town. She gets a job because her uncle knows the director's assistant. Something happens to him or her, so she gets the job and becomes the director's assistant, and then runs into the main star of the movie, and it's their love story. So you have to suspend your disbelief that, like, that's very unlikely that would happen, but if you can buy into it, it was so good, in my opinion. And Sarah is about halfway through, I think, and she's really enjoying it too. So I'm glad. Last time we read Two Lives of Lydia Bird together, and we didn't really like that, so I'm really glad we got a better one this time. My only complaints about it really are that, yes, you have to suspend your disbelief, and like there's never paparazzi around or anything, and so that's a little not good, but like I really think I might give it 4.5 stars, because it's about this girl. She meets this guy, obviously, and she lives with her uncle, like her middle-aged uncle, who's super into Dungeons and Dragons, and she has this best friend named Chloe, and she, like, their local, like, their hangout is this coffee shop where Chloe works, and there's the guy who owns it named Nick, and really she, like, this girl, her name's Annie, and she has, like, no family, really, because her parents have both died, and she has very good found family. Her friend group, Chloe and Nick and her uncle and stuff, they are ride or die for her. They are like got her back, and so I love that, and I love found family in books. And there's a part where something happens, and Annie is upset, and she wants her mom so bad. She just wants her mom to be there to help her and to hang out with her and make her feel better. And that part got me, like, legitimately emotional. And like for me to get an emotional attachment to a character is hard. Like, I just am kind of cold, I think, about books. I'm like emotionless a lot of the times. So for me to attach that way means I really liked it, and it was really well written. The romance itself was good, but I think I really just liked our main character quite a bit. So yeah, that was that. I'm trying to think anything else I want to say about it. All the movies mentioned in here, like I said earlier today, like I just want to go binge watch movies. And now it's April 30th, and the readathon starts at midnight. So it's 4 o'clock. I'm done reading for the month and for the day. And so I really might see if I can get something on streaming. Either You've Got Mail, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, any of those kind of movies, because I'm just like craving it. And this book is very much a comfort read, because it's one of those, like, from the beginning pretty much what's going to happen, or at least the formula it's going to follow. and that's okay. You know, you just have to sign up for that journey and just immerse yourself in it. And there's a second one coming out about Chloe and Nick, and I can't wait to read that one. I requested on NetGalley, so hopefully I'll get it, but I don't know. So yeah, 4.5 stars. Great way to end the month. Great surprise because my expectations were pretty low for this one. So yeah, I really liked it. I don't think I have anything else to say about it. Let me know if you've read it. I think I already asked for that, but yeah, so now I'm going to wrap up this vlog and work on editing it so I can get it up this weekend, hopefully, and start a new one tomorrow for the Light versus Dark readathon. So again, last chance. If you have not signed up, well, this probably won't go up until it's already happening or already over. But I hope you're signed up, and I hope you're on the light side. And so thank you for watching this. This vlog has been kind of a mess. NetGalley, let me know if you use it or if you don't, and what your thoughts are on it. I can see how it's super dangerous, and so far everything I have read has been middle of the road. Nothing great, but nothing well, that one was a 2-star. Take a look at me now. Didn't like that. But yeah, it's interesting, and there's so much like stuff that's already out that I want to read that I don't know why I'm so like excited about arcs, but I am. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how your week went, what you're doing this weekend. Whenever you see this, day or night, just let me know what you're up to, what you're reading, and if you've read any of the stuff I've read. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.